to share it?
Yeah.
All right. I'm looking good on Facebook. Got it. Looking good on Instagram. All right. Got it?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Thanks for tuning in. Oh, wait, where are you? Sorry. Okay. Sharing it on all our business pages. Oh, I gotta make sure I can see myself on the Instagram. Don't fall. All right. I am Abby Walters with Preslee Real Estate.
And I'm Ashley Crable with Coldwell Banker Premier Property Management.
And we're here today to chat with home buyers, tenants, owners, landlords, and other realtors. We're going to talk about property management and selling and buying and renting, and we've got a lot of good questions and topics here for you. So a little introduction. Ashley and I have known each other probably since we were 5 years old. So we've been friends for a long, long time. And our story about how we both got into real estate, you were receptionist
I was.
at Sager Real Estate. And when did you start there?
Oh gosh, I think it was right after we graduated. Like maybe 99 or 2000.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you were a receptionist.
Right.
And then you got your license.
Right.
What year?
2003.
And that's when I started at Sager as receptionist, when
Yes.
you were a realtor. And then after, in 2005, I got my license and we went over to property management and we worked in the
We started that.
we
together.
started property
Yeah.
management with Suzanne Matthews, and she's still there in Strasburg, and we all three worked together. So that's how we got our start.
Mhm.
And
And then you branched out to just sell.
yeah,
real
then I
estate.
just went to Sager full time selling.
Mhm.
And how long were you there?
I was there about 10 years. Yeah, because rentals are my niche.
Did you go from property management to Coldwell Banker?
No,
For me, no.
no. I had that little thing in corrections.
Oh, that's
a little,
right.
a little sabbatical.
Okay. All right. So that's how we got our start, and we're still doing real estate all these years later. And we're going to chat with you guys about just the market right now and what we're seeing. And the first thing we're going to talk about is how is the rental market right now?
So the rental market is extremely hot right now. We do have a lack of rental listings in the area. Things do not last long, and the properties that are on the market typically end up with a multitude of applications on them.
So very similar to the home
Correct,
buying market,
yes.
and we're getting multiple offers on the houses for sale. So that's interesting.
Yes. We get into negotiations with rentals at times, just like you do with
Yeah.
the real estate side.
Wow. So people are offering more money.
More money,
than-
longer lease terms, bigger deposits. Yes.
So it's just as competitive renting as it is buying. Okay. Well, so how do the buyers go about putting in an application, viewing houses? What's the process or steps if you've got somebody out there looking?
Okay, so if it's one of our rental listings, the process is we get contacted by a prospective tenant. They will contact us on that property. We will let them know that we have a pre-approval process, that they can fill out the application for the property, and then we will pre-approve it based on income, things like that. We don't fully process the application. So then once they're pre-approved, we will schedule a showing. And then after the showing, if they do not want to proceed with applying for the property, we will refund them the application fee. Otherwise, we will go ahead and process the application. If it's not one of our rental listings, we will schedule a showing through whatever avenue the listing company wants, and we will schedule the showing and go from there on their application process.
Okay, so I don't do a lot of rentals, so this is all like kind of new to me, this like getting pre-approved. It does seem like it would save a lot of time, but do the tenants have to like turn in pay stubs to prove their income?
So everything is done online with us.
Okay.
So the application for the property that they choose, we also have a generic application for any future properties that we list. And they have to upload all their financial documents and everything to get through to the end of the application. To
And
be
you
able
just
to
go
submit.
ahead and do their credit check and their criminal and all that?
We don't until
Okay.
after they
You
see the
check the
property.
income.
Well, they have to see the property first to make sure they want to move forward.
Okay.
So we don't want to take anybody's money just to take their money.
Okay.
So, yeah.
That
When they're
sounds-
100% sure, we go ahead and process it.
Yeah, that sounds like a great process. Alyssa says there's no sound on my live. Which one, Facebook or Insta? Let's see what she says. Maybe it's on the Instagram. 'Cause I don't know why there wouldn't be on this one. Hold tight. Maybe it's the Instagram. Nobody's saying anything. Oh, they're saying they can't hear on Facebook. Wendy, can you hear now? I'm not sure how to do technical difficulties on these things.
We're a 2-person crew. And I have no help in this area.
Alright. Well, I know something that might work. Can you hear me now? I just plugged the microphone in. Can you hear me on Facebook now? Sorry, guys. Instagram's working if you want to go over there. Testing. No. Okay. Alright, this might kick us off, but I might just restart it. Yeah.
Hey. She's here. Are you coming to save us?
Yeah.
From ourselves?
Hi. I don't know what's going on.
I don't know. Never had a problem with it before. I just plugged in the microphone to see if that would work. Audio.
0.
What's this video? 0, 10.
I don't know what that means.
Unless I just do it with my phone. Okay. Let me see if we can end this one and start Sorry, Instagram people. I may have to just end it.
Me either. No.
Let's see. Oh no. Doesn't even give you an option. I don't know.
We can just end that and I can start it on a new live right here. Okay, live. And take two. Management talk.
We're on the roll.
Well, at least it's on
Just having a
Instagram. We
conversation
can
with
reshare that video. Alright, if you want to log on and share that on some groups or to make sure you can hear us. Okay, alright, are we good now?
I'm trying to get back to it. Yes, you can hear it.
Okay. Alright, so I think we were, and go on Instagram if you missed our beginning where we were talking about how you make an application for a rental and that process. But I was going to talk a little bit about the home buying market and that market right now and what we're experiencing. So it's very much the same as the rental market, very competitive, very hot. There's multiple offers on properties. And so interestingly enough, Ashley and I were talking before we started. I think some of these loans they have now, like USDA 100%, you can really just have like $300 or $400 for your inspection, $400 or $500 for your appraisal, and an EMD $250 or $500, and you can buy a house with like $1,000 down. But what are you seeing with when people are trying to get into these rentals? How much are they having to come up with?
They are having to come up with sometimes double the deposit. And sometimes that's an owner requirement, and sometimes that's just a negotiation tactic on the prospective tenant to get into the property, or they'll offer to increase the rent to get ahead of the other applicants.
Wow, that's crazy.
It is. It has been crazy.
So we might have cut out on Facebook. We were talking about getting approved for a rental. There's a process of applying and checking income. So that is very much the same as getting approved for a loan. You know, there's lots of loan officers out there. Ask your friends, ask your family members who they've used, who they've had success with, who they've clicked with. I have on PresleeRealEstate.com under the buying tab our preferred lenders. And I just received a phone call yesterday, and this lady was relocating from Southern Virginia to come here. And I asked her about being pre-approved, and she said, well, my lender is just so busy, they haven't been able to call me back yet.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I don't know that that's the lender that you want to work with, because we're all very busy right now, but you have to have systems in place to be able to communicate with your clients. So, so definitely reach out to Ashley and I to discuss getting pre-approved. But we also wanted to touch on, if we have any owners or landlords tuning in, what we see, what services Caldwell Banker Premier Property Management provides, and this is good for me to know as well. Like, I would love to know the services that you all do for an owner and how much it costs.
Sure. So we can offer, we customize our services to fit our owners' needs. We can offer full-time management services for a property. So we would take the property, place it on the market similar to how you would market it for sale. We just do it from the rental aspect. And then we, filter through applications. Once we get an accepted application by the owner, we handle the leasing process and the move-in inspection. We offer quarterly inspections with photographs. The owner and the tenant are both assigned online portals. Everything we do is online.
That's awesome.
And they pay their rent online. We direct deposit into an owner's account of their choosing. The tenants can submit maintenance requests online. We give them a monthly report as far as any maintenance issues there were and what those costs were, if we handled those for them. Some owners prefer to handle their own maintenance, but we customize based on whatever our owners prefer. And for that, that's a half month's rent leasing fee and then 10% of the monthly rent thereafter. We also do the 1099 miscellaneous tax forms and the tax report. We can also do just tenant placement, where we would market the property, do everything up to the move-in inspection with the tenant, and then we turn everything over to the owner to manage themselves from that point on, and that's 1 month's rent leasing fee.
So it just goes right in bright MLS, like a for sale.
And then there's like about 60 other sites that we post on through our software system.
So for owners to know, like your rental is getting out there
Yes.
to tons of people.
Video tours, everything that we can do.
That's awesome. That's great. I think half a month's rent
Right.
is really fair for that.
And there's no cost for lease renewals. We get that question a lot.
Okay.
If there's any kind of extra cost for lease renewals, a lot of companies do charge that. So we don't charge any additional fee for a lease renewal.
That's great. And what screenings do you do on those tenants?
We do credit, criminal, previous tenant history. We do employment verification, and we do call rental references.
Okay. And so with the past year of the pandemic and COVID, and I keep seeing a bunch of things about rent relief, I don't really know what's going on, like what's happening when tenants have been affected. And
So luckily, we've only had less than a handful of tenants be affected, shockingly, by COVID. So for those tenants, we've reached out to them and to the owners to keep the communication open with them, and we work with them to obtain money through the CARES Act, through the rent relief program, and we help them through the application process. The application process can now be done also by the landlord for the tenant. So those funds are there. It usually takes anywhere from, it can take up to 8 weeks to receive the check, but they do pay it in full with the late fees associated with it.
because honestly, like I was a little worried being a landlord myself. Like our rentals are not paid for. We have mortgages on them. So I was like, what if people start calling us if they can't pay their rent? So that's good.
Yeah, we try to really keep those lines
out there
of communication open, and most of our owners are very willing to work with the tenants, and we can come to some sort of agreement, and we do help them find those assistance programs.
Okay, that's great. That's good to know. I wanted to touch on if we have any other agents here. I feel like a real jerk to say, no, I'm not. So luckily I can say, I don't manage rentals, but I know someone who does, and she's great at it, and like this is all she does 24/7, and she knows it. Like, why wouldn't you want to send your person to the expert? So I send all my people to Ashley, and she takes really good care of them. And do you get a lot of referrals from agents who just sell? And
I do get a lot of other agent referrals, and then I always pass them back to whoever originated them. I flag them in my system to make sure that they go back to the original person and have that conversation. And I keep in touch with them on a regular basis as well, so that they know kind of what's going on with the property still, where the owner's mindset is, and if they're looking, in 6 months or whatever to sell, to let the agent know so that they can kind of keep their sphere of influence and keep doing those touches too.
And we've recently had one where,
I didn't even get to list the other one.
but you were like the one that was occupied for a year, and you're like, well, the tenant moved out, and I think she's ready to sell. And I was like, oh, great, thanks for the heads up. And then the owner's daughter called me, and she's like, Ashley said, it's call you to put it back on the market. So she sends them right back to me, because that was an instance where the purchaser, the dad wasn't capable of reaching out to me, and the daughter had taken over. So there would have been a gap in communication and contact information had Ashley not provided it. So I was really thankful for that.
And we don't have a contract between us or anything like that. I mean, we just, we've known each other for so long. But, for other agents, we can certainly put something together for you to, ensure that you get to keep your business.
I mean, I think it's just terrific, because I think that renting and buying and selling are two totally different markets. And it's fine if you want to do, both things. I mean, I'm starting to do more commercial real estate. That's totally different than residential. So it's fine if you want to get into something else. But I think if you're not comfortable with something, I'm not super comfortable with the rental side of things, then why not put it in the hands of someone who that's all they do? Like, I'm amazed by all of your computer systems, and I don't know, wish I wouldn't have sold 4 of my rentals last year, because you could have just put them on the computer, and Jamie would have loved that. And yeah, he was tired of being landlords. It's a lot of work. I mean, a lot of people only stay a year, and then you've got to turn it over again.
It's a lot of calls, like holidays, weekends, nighttime. But we have a call center also, so that there's never a lapse in any kind of communication. So they are able to dispatch any kind of vendor based on what's in our system.
I love that they can do a maintenance request online.
And it keeps it all streamlined too,
Yeah.
and keeps it all documented so that you can always refer back.
Yeah, that is very
especially
good.
for warranty issues, things like that.
I feel like I don't know what time it is, because all my phones are running low.
10:22.
Okay. All right. So, just to recap, I know we had a couple glitches in the beginning of our Facebook video. Go to my team, Abby Walters' Instagram page if you want to see the whole thing. But we started off discussing, we basically started off how we knew each other, and we've known each other forever and ever. And we both were receptionists at Sager's and got our license. And then we both started up Property Management Unlimited together with Suzanne, and we worked there. So, that's how Ashley and I know each other. And then we started talking about tenants versus buyers and how this market is now. In case you missed it, the rental market with tenants is the multiple applications, offering to pay more money per month, offering to double security deposit. You probably have some of they'll pay the rent for the year.
Especially right now with tax season.
Yeah.
Because people are in with stimulus money and things like that. I think a lot of them
We're
feel
offering
that.
that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's just like our competitive housing market with the sales and the buyers. Like, we're seeing 10 offers, 10,000 to 25,000 over list price. So it's like that in the rental market as well. So you take care of writing the lease up and everything?
Yes. It's myself and Amanda Whitson. We're a team, and we do all the lease paperwork and everything, and communicate to each other. So especially if one of us is busy, we have on and off days that we can focus solely on certain areas and keep things streamlined for the owners.
If a tenant reaches out to you, they want to find a 3-bedroom townhouse in Strasburg, you can pull at all rentals, not just your Caldwell Banker rentals.
Right. Yes.
So that's good.
Yeah.
So reach out to Ashley or Amanda at Caldwell Banker if you're looking for a rental. Then we discussed owners and landlords. Well, I don't think I touched on the selling market, which the selling market is just super hot. If you want to list something, you want to sell it right now, I'm sure we can get it done. And but some owners want to hold on to their home and build equity, and that's why they want to rent it out and have that as an asset and let it grow and sell it later. So not everyone wants to sell right now. Wendy's asking, what areas do you cover?
So we cover all areas. Our footprint is very big. We go to Northern Virginia, West Virginia, Maryland. We're branching into Rockingham County. And yeah, we're kind of all over the place.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Do you all take your pictures for the rentals, or does somebody take them?
We take them. We take them and do the video tours.
Cool.
Because honestly, it's so fast.
Yeah.
The turnaround,
Yeah.
it doesn't make
I can
sense to
believe
have
that.
somebody do the wonderful pictures like you all do and
Yeah.
everybody else for
Yeah.
selling. Because
That's
it
crazy.
doesn't last.
No. So we are having, this wasn't on our list, but I was just thinking, I've been having a lot of people go to sell their house and they can't find another house to buy, and they're
Right.
wanting to know, can we do a short-term rental?
Mhm.
So what's going on there?
So we have some of those. It depends on the owners that we're working
Okay.
with, and what their financial situation is.
Yeah.
And a lot of it goes into us explaining to the owners pros and cons in regard to that, and a lot with the market. So typically they don't want a short-term lease that's going to come up
Do in winter.
in
or
winter for
something.
for any kind of issues with
Mhm.
heating and
Yeah.
all that. So,
Okay.
but they are out there. It's harder with pets.
Mhm.
That limits the rental pool
Yeah.
even more.
Yeah.
They are few and far in between. So if you see those and you need a rental with pets, make sure you grab onto that and apply ASAP.
What's the deal with I don't follow the changes of if service animals are allowed, or what's a service animal versus a
Emotional
companion.
support.
Yeah, emotional support.
We always make sure that we get documentation,
Okay.
and either from the doctor or the licensing person,
Okay.
because there is a difference, and
Yeah.
anybody can go register online.
For
Emotional support is different from a service animal.
So you don't have to allow the
Correct.
emotional support. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And agents, if you're on here, then I personally use Caldwell Banker Property Management Premier. I'm a broker owner of my company, and I do not worry that giving business there is going to cost me business. I think my sellers, my clients are very happy that I didn't say, sure, I'll do that for you, and then I, do a half-butt job of it. So,
You're busy.
so I think it works out great. Having them, assist my clients, and I would highly recommend that to any agents who are tuning in. We'll finish off with telling you guys where you can contact us or find our info. I am currently rehabbing a building. I will have an office in Strasburg near the Emporium, behind the Emporium. That will be my Preslee Real Estate Team Abby Walters office, but right now I'm working from home. And you can reach me on any socials or website for Team Abby Walters or Preslee Real Estate on any of the social media sites, or just Google the website, and all my contact info is on there.
I'm based out of Winchester, at the Caldwell Banker office on Pleasant Valley, and we have offices all over the place: Harrisonburg, Rockville Springs, Martinsburg, Shepherdstown. And so I can be reached through any of those offices and get in contact with me. My number, the office number is 540-662-4590. And that rings both myself and Amanda.
Okay, great. Let me see if we missed any questions before we sign off of here. All right, none on there. And this is gonna fall, I know it. Trash. All right, well, that's it, and we encourage you to message us if you have any other questions. We will message you back, call you back, get on here and make another video if you want one. So let us know, and thanks so much for tuning in.
Thanks, guys. Have a good day.
All right, finish.